The England international has led these rankings for most of the season, and thoroughly deserves to win the prize. Arsenal pushed Manchester City hard in the Premier League title race last season, before Pep Guardiola's side's superior resources and elite mentality allowed them to pull away and eventually secure a famous treble. This time around, the Gunners have done the same again, with Mikel Arteta's side still in with a shot of ending their trophy drought going into the final day. To keep pace with Guardiola's charges, Arsenal have had to get even better this season, although in the end they still let the championship trophy fall to Man City. Arsenal also showed that they are a strong team and one of the championship candidates for next season. And over the past few months, the 90-minute matchup has tracked and evaluated Arsenal's top 10 players of the season. Now, it's finally time to assess who most deserves to receive the prestigious honor at the end of the campaign, and it's very tight at the top. 10. Jorginho. Jorginho received criticism after both the Man City and Chelsea games in the autumn, though playing through those midfields was always going to be a challenge. He was pretty good after that, though, cutting a stubborn Sevilla side open with a sumptuous assist in the Champions League and even wearing the captain's armband against Newcastle and Burnley. He also proved he still belongs in the biggest games, starring in the Gunners' huge win over Liverpool in February, though he was less eye-catching in the two legs of the Bayern Munich tie. Regardless, he was more than deserving of the new contract handed to him in May. 9. Kai Havertz. After being widely mocked during his first few months as a Gunner, Havertz has managed to silence his critics over the past few months. The German comfortably reached double figures for goals in the end, while also chipping in with a string of important assists. More than that, though, Havertz has begun to prove that he could be the man to lead the line for Arteta going forward. His physicality and clever movement helps get the best out of those around him, which may convince the club to decline the opportunity to spend big on a number 9 this summer. 8. David Raya. It's clear why Arteta likes Raya, despite the controversy his arrival caused. His competence on the ball has drastically improved Arsenal's build-up, and the mistakes that punctuated his early Emirates career are becoming less and less frequent. He's not quite player of the season material, but the Premier League Golden Glove winner deserves immense credit for answering his doubters so emphatically. 7. Leandro Trossard. Trossard has squeezed everything he possibly could out of his limited minutes this season. In the Premier League, he has averaged 0.69 goals per 90, a better rate than Golden Boot contenders Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke and Phil Foden have managed. He's popped up with some vital Champions League strikes too, netting in a hard-fought victory over Sevilla, in the last 16 against Porto and then in an exciting quarter-final first-leg clash with Bayern Munich. 6. Ben White. How gutting must it have been for England boss Gareth Southgate to watch White put in the performances that he has this season. Although his prospects of making an international return seem remote, the ex-Brighton man has been one of the best fullbacks in Europe this season. Defensively, he is elite, with a long list of top-class wide men struggling to get any joy against White. His attacking contributions have been solid too, with Arsenal fans having a lot of love for Mr. Consistent. 5. Gabriel Magalhaes. After it appeared that Arteta had gone off him in the early weeks of the campaign, Gabriel has been in the first team for the majority of the season. During this time, he has taken his game to the next level, forming one half of the best centre-back pairing in England alongside William Saliba. He's proved to be a potent weapon from set pieces too, netting 4 times, including twice against Crystal Palace back in January. The turnaround has been quite incredible, considering he seemed to be out of favour at the beginning of the season. 4. Martin Odegaard. The heartbeat of this Arsenal side last season, Odegaard was affected by injuries in November. Even before this setback, his goal and assist numbers were significantly down, though he has turned his fortunes around in the second half of the season. The Norwegian knits everything together for Arsenal in the final third, and his unparalleled passing ability has lit up the Emirates over the past few months. He's also scored some important goals and continues to repay the faith shown in him by Arteta when he named the midfielder club captain back in 2022. 3. William Saliba. Arsenal missed Saliba dearly when he was sidelined at the end of last season, and Arteta will be mightily relieved to have had him back for the run-in this year. We know what to expect from the Frenchman by now, and he has delivered a string of solid performances at the back this campaign. A rare error against Liverpool and a couple of shaky Champions League displays aside, Saliba has been pretty much perfect. He is one of the biggest reasons why Arsenal have been so fearsome defensively and will no doubt be included in the Premier League team of the season. 2. Bukayo Saka. Still only 22, Saka continues to solidify his reputation as one of the most productive wide men in Europe. His goals were particularly important during the opening stretch of the season, when Arsenal were still figuring out their best configuration up front. Throughout this period, Saka was consistently decisive, and he was similarly influential during January and February, when he enjoyed a run of 8 goals in just 7 Premier League games. Despite often being on the receiving end of some meaty tackles, and Arteta being reluctant to ever hand him a proper rest, he has managed to remain available for pretty much the entire campaign. He probably hasn't always got the credit he's deserved this season, but there's little doubt that he's been Arsenal's best attacker. 1. Declan Rice. There were questions asked when Arsenal spent over £100 million on Rice this summer, but he's proved to be well worth that hefty investment. His dramatic stoppage time strike against Manchester United sent the Emirates into delirium back in September, and he's flown in North London since then. Starting out as Arteta's deepest midfielder, his dominant displays made Gunners fans forget all about the absent party, while the second half of the campaign has allowed Rice to show his attacking capabilities in a number 8 position. To do all of this in his first season at the club, and with the pressure of that massive transfer fee hanging over him, is nothing short of phenomenal. That's why he deserves to just edge out the likes of Saka, Saliba, and Odegaard for top spot.